Today, October 15th, is the feast of Teresa of Ávila, a doctor of the church, one of the three women who are named doctors of the church. She was a Carmelite nun in Spain at the time of the post-Reformation. And she entered the convent young, and she would confess herself that for the first years of her religious life, she was pretty frivolous, not really dedicated to prayer, very much a social creature, just kind of skimming along the surface of religious life and not plumbing its depths. One day she walked past this image of the Sacred Heart in the hallway of her convent, an image she had passed many times. But for some reason that day, she found herself absolutely transfixed by the image. And she went down on her knees and she prayed to Jesus, Lord, I'm not going to get up from this place until you give me the assurance, the knowledge that you'll give me the grace to love you with all of my heart. That moment was the moment of conversion for Teresa. From then on, she took religious life very much more seriously, devoted her life to prayer. So much so that she ends up reforming the order, because the order had become pretty lapsed and loose in terms of its observation of the rule. But when I think of Teresa of Ávila, I think of this woman of profound prayer who wrote spiritual classics like The Interior Castle. And there she likens both our soul and God to this castle through which we enter the outer portals, cross the moat, go through all these gates to come to the very heart of the castle. And when we come to the very heart of God, we will also have discovered the very full truth of ourselves. So she was busy, long days of travel, building monasteries, reforming her order, often with great opposition. And then all of that fueled by this deep interior life of prayer that led her to experience tremendous mystical phenomena. But I think she would say to us in the end, simply be faithful to prayer. Pray to Jesus. Keep your prayer grounded in his humanity and his love for you. And we find there that God then is for us both overwhelming and close. That he's transcendent, he's beyond all things, and yet tremendously intimately present. God invaded Teresa's heart and just took over her life. And so she stands for us as this joyful soul that was transformed through grace from somebody that was rather frivolous and superficial to being a doctor of the church and a mystic and an expert on the life of prayer. When I think of Teresa of Ávila, I think of someone who on the one hand was intensely activistic, traveling around Spain, founding new monasteries of nuns, seeking reform. But all that was fueled by this deep, profound interior life, which she struggled to put into words. And oftentimes her writing seemed rambling and conversational. But I picture her at the end of a long day, sitting at her desk with some little straggly candle, lighting the parchment, and her just writing out her experience of God. For Teresa, God was both transcendent and intimate. He was right here, but he was also above everything. God overwhelmed Teresa and invaded her heart. And she found a joy and a passion in her life because she had given herself to Jesus Christ. So like her, we go down on our knees before the Lord and we ask the Lord today, Lord, give me the grace. Assure me that you will always give me the grace to love you with all of my heart. And when we're faithful to prayer, it may seem at times like nothing is happening in prayer, but God is purifying us, emptying us out in that beautiful encounter with him in prayer so that we will be ready to enter into the wedding feast. St. Teresa of Ávila, pray for us.